Hello, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be viewing this. I'm glad you're able to join in for our latest BookBaby live broadcast. My name is Spatz. I'm the president emeritus of the company, and we've got an interesting presentation for you. I've been getting a lot of emails from people saying, oh my gosh, I want to cash in on some holiday book sales opportunities. You have some ideas. So I thought, you know what? Let's put it in a broadcast to end the year with. So that's what we're going to do today, and cover a few more things about your publishing ambitions and where you should spend your energy from now until the beginning of the year. So without further ado, Carter, let's go jump into this and let's get going. So top 6 selling ideas, and I'm telling you, these are really truly going to be the last minute ones. If I can make my slides advance, here we go. There we go. This is the last minute stuff. I had a guide that really talks about things you can do kind of leading into the holiday season. I've gleaned some of those ideas and added a few more things to it. So again, this is the last minute. If you got some energy left before the holidays, the next 10, 12 days, these are the things you could focus on and look forward to, and maybe have a little burst in some book sales. So let's get going. Here we go. So again, I'm Stephen Spatz. I've been with our music and book brands for over 16 years. I was thinking about this. This is the longest I've worked for any one company. I've worked for a lot of crazy organizations in the past, like Mattel and Hasbro, but this is the one that I really have enjoyed working with these folks. I've worked with some tremendous marketers, including Carter, who's our assistant on these broadcasts. Nicole Klein has helped clean up my language on some of these slides, has really helped me a lot. And then, through it all the experiences I've had working, I'm a self-published author, so I could be writing a book about that. But I always mention that in these broadcasts because I've been there, I've done that. I know how difficult it can be. I know how challenging it can be. But I also know the solutions of how to make things easier. It's never going to be an easy process, but there are a lot of things you can do to make it a lot easier, fun, and really educational as the process goes on. So that's what we're here for. So what we're going to do the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about self-publishing. My topic today, of course, is book marketing last minute. I've got time to take questions at the end. Now, what you need to do is share your questions in the comments section, and I'll get to those at the end. We'll run through as many as we possibly can. They don't have to be about book selling. It could be anything about self-publishing. So feel free to put your comments or put your questions in the comments. As I say, I'll get to them after I'm done with my prepared presentations. Okay. So I have 15 minutes for that. I've got some parting thoughts as well for this too. So one lucky attendee for every event, we do a Facebook Live attendee will be selected to have a consultation with me. And we say it's 15 minutes. The shortest one I've had is about 45 minutes. And I really enjoyed talking to the folks, getting to know them, understand their book project. So here's how you do it. All you got to do is share this video and tag a friend in the comment section to be automatically entered to win the consultation with me. All right. So again, put your questions in. One more thing. We have a Facebook group called the Authors of BookBaby Facebook group. We've got about 1,500, 1,600 very active members. We don't go in there very often. When we do, we're there to kind of answer any questions we can, maybe share some important news. Like, for instance, as we introduced audiobooks a couple of weeks ago, I think that's one of the first places where we introduced it. By the way, it's going very well, and our customers are happy about it. So good peer-to-peer conversations happening every day. I encourage you to join that group and get involved. All right, with that, let's jump into this. So absolutely, time is running out. If you haven't had a marketing plan to get your books out, or maybe you want to do a little bit more, that's what this short presentation is going to be about. I've got 6 ideas for you, and then a 7th one, which really kind of thinks beyond the holidays, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. So first thing is this, and I've been talking about this for the past year, and that's focusing on direct sales, okay? Obviously, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, they're important channels. What's becoming increasingly important to our authors is becoming for themselves a true bookseller, all right? This direct-to-reader philosophy is borrowed from our music brand that I started with, direct-to-fan, really power the indie music scene. And we see the same kind of effect happening for indie authors and to get their books out directly to their readers and their fans, all right? All of BookBaby authors, we give you bookshop pages, but there are places, if you're self-published on other mediums, you can have your own page as well. On our pages, we pay the highest royalties out. We pay 50% on print-on-demand titles, 85% on ebooks. Your book's in stock 24/7 because we're the printer. There's no lines of trucks waiting in a warehouse. No, we print them, we ship them, we get them out there, and we get you paid very quickly. What's really new, though, in the last few weeks, we've added amazing analytics to the site where people can really understand. If you did a book signing in Poughkeepsie, you can see sales. How did any sales happen around those addresses? Also, the ability to have mailing lists. There are tons of other benefits about Bookshop. I'm not going to go into them there. We've got videos. You're going to hear me referring to the blog a lot because it really is a treasure trove of information that I encourage people to really dive into. This is one about how to do video, make coupons and banner links, and much more about how to really use that. So I encourage you to jump into the blog, search for those type of things. So that's the first tip. Sell direct as much as possible. All right. Number 2, this is the time, if you've invested energy into learning and during the frustration of social media, this is the time to cash in. All right. You've cultivated relationships and communities. This is the time to utilize them. All right. This is the time when it's more than okay to say, hey, my book makes a great Christmas present. All right. This is the time to really do that. Other times of the year, just doing buy my book posts on Twitter really aren't there. But look, everybody's doing it. Give a compelling reason why your book can be that last minute gift. Win that last minute gift. I'll get to that type of situation a little bit later. Also, book talk. You've probably heard about that. In a blog post we just had coming up this week, there's something called YouTube Shorts. Great article about it. In fact, my upcoming Weekender email is going to point you to that. Great opportunities to get your social channels. It's pretty easy to get those things started, and the impact can be really quick and tremendous. So again, this is the time to really do it. Once again, we did one of these BookBaby lives about books going social. It was back in June. Encourage you to go to our YouTube channel. That way, I won't have to spend another 20 minutes going through what we already did there. There's a lot of great tips of how to utilize social media and really build a quality community of fans and readers and fellow authors who can help yourself out. So that's one that's worthwhile going to. All right. Number 3 is this, and I think people are still kind of gun shy about sending emails. Am I sending spam? No, it's not. These people have asked you. They've given you their email address and said, please, I want to know about your book. I want to know about you. I want to know about how you go about the craft of writing. So it's really important for you folks to utilize that email list that hopefully you spend a lot of time building up this valuable asset. I could point you to another BookBaby Live presentation that we did about email lists. I'd encourage you to go there. This is the time when you increase your frequency. And again, in the past, content might be mixed between what you're doing and maybe some tidbits about your personal life. Now, go ahead, talk about your book, focus on gift-giving ideas, all right? And now I'm going to give you a tip that's coming from professional marketing, all right? Most of the independent email providers will allow you to have a pretty sophisticated set of stats. You don't need to be a numbers wonk to get this. You'll know the people who have actually, let's say you have a list of 1,000 people. Let's say that 400 of them opened your email and 100 of them clicked on something in your email, a link to your pages or a link back to your site or something like that. That information is what we professional marketers use to say, oh, that person's engaged. If somebody's opened your email, you may want to tuck away a special email just to them saying, hey, glad you stopped by, and look at it. Here's another reason you should buy the book. If they clicked on it, they're really engaged. They might be worth 2 emails. This is the kind of work that, again, professional marketers, the BookBaby marketing team, does when folks click on our emails to really kind of get involved and to understand the behavior. That's where you can get the most out of your list, wring it out like a sponge and get the most. So lots of other tips, again, available on the blog. Take a look at it, okay? Number 4 is this, and this is tried and true. Look, they work. Making a deal. Everybody's expecting holiday deals, and what works? Bundle your books. I hope you've written more books. I hope you have maybe some short stories to add to that. This is where you can really do things. Buy one, get one free. They all work. This is the kind of stuff that you may have seen it for years and years. And guess what? The reason you've seen it is it does work. Holiday discounts, maybe drop your ebooks down to 99 cents. Get some new readers. Really, it's a way for you to cultivate that opportunity when people are looking for books. Free shipping possibly too. You can do coupons on your bookshop page to make it so that you can have free shipping. Or if it's a local thing, you can be driving them and delivering them yourself. All kinds of things. All right. I found this on one marketer's page, Penny Sensavari. This was her idea. I want to give her proper credit. Her idea was to have a 12 days of Christmas promotion where you organize ideas into a 12-day series. You got time, you got enough days, but they have to give you something to get in on the fun. So, for instance, to have a day 1 entry, email a receipt for one of the books they purchased in the past, and they get entered in whatever you're going to be giving away. Or day 2, they share a link to your book on Amazon. on their Facebook account. So make it so they need to do a little bit for you in order for you to have them part of the fun. And you can just start thinking about things that you want them to do. Maybe you want them to go to your YouTube page. Maybe you want them to find something on your website. Tell me the third word on the second line of the website and you get an entry. Those kinds of things. Again, just trying to be imaginative, be a little bit different, think out of the box, although I hate that term. Number 5 is this. This is the time, look, there are no bad ideas for Christmas promotions, all right? This is the last minute gift game. People who are desperate, all right? If you know other authors, maybe you do a promotion with them. Maybe you know some merchants in town and say, hey, look, if it can we do some kind of giveaway? Can I bundle it with your candles or your coffees or maybe movie tickets? I've seen some great examples of BookBaby authors throughout the years about how they've creatively, joined in with other local business. I'm one of those shop local kind of guys as much as possible, trying to, spread my dollars among my community. This is a perfect example of taking that to the nth degree. So I encourage you to get creative there. You can do gift wrapping. If it's a local type thing, maybe you can do that. Anything to do to, again, win that last minute gift idea. All right. Here's an idea that I just saw recently on LinkedIn. A Gig Harbor, Washington restaurant has an author of the week, and they have a display out there on the tables. They allow people to, to put their books up, and it's a great way. Now, probably a little bit late in the game to be doing that, but this is what this one author and restaurant have teamed up on. But that's something you could work on again for the new year. But it's a neat way to, again, join forces with other local vendors, other folks in the community. I really like those types of things. Okay, excuse me. All right. Last one is this. I want you to rethink the holiday time period. Yeah, it's December. It's a big calendar. But maybe there are specific days where we've seen spikes in sales for authors. Christmas Eve. I mean, look, you could target the procrastinators last minute with some kind of special. The week between Christmas and New Year's, it's always been a strong ebook sales time. So I would try to target some promotions there. Just because it's after Christmas doesn't mean that the buying doesn't stop. There are gift cards to be had, all kinds of opportunities. And then, who knows, New Year's Day, maybe a hangover sale. I don't know, just something. Again, use your mind, do something different. But here's where I want to stop and say, if I have that sound effect, and I don't know how to do that on this slideshow. Everything that I've told you, I think, are valuable ideas, all right, and are worthy of your time and consideration. But I do want you to step back and think about this. It is December 7th here when I'm recording this. This is meant for a last-minute type of gift thing. But if you're not terribly happy with how your holiday sales are going, I want you to think about this very carefully and take heart from this. When do you think readers have the time and opportunity to find your books? All right. You don't have the Jack Reacher books. You're not James Patterson. People don't know instantly to pull your book off the shelf to go there. They've got to kind of find you. You're an independent author. You probably knew at this. So realize that it does take a bit of time and effort to go find them. So look, the reality is the best time to find independent authors, it's probably not during the holiday season. So what I'm telling you is, if you don't want to take any of my tips, use them for next year or use them for other times of the year. But the holiday season is really not the optimal time for self-published authors. I'm happy to say that there's less emphasis. I sort of record how the mood of authors are in the emails I get. I used to get a lot of emails saying, oh my God, it's October. I haven't gotten my book done. Will I make it by Christmas? I don't get many of those anymore because we've been preaching that, sure, get it done for the holidays, just get your book done. But don't, it's not an end all or be all for this one, 60-day period before the end of the year. It's a book. It's going to be out there for a long, long time. There's so many things you can be doing for it. In fact, let me show you. This is what the traditional publishing calendar has always been. And when we know people are in different genres, we kind of advise them, this is the time of year that these kind of books are published. So for instance, early in the year, tons of romance books are published, although I gotta tell you, romance books are published in all 12 months. And if there's a 13th month, they'd still be published on the 13th month. They were published all year round, but especially early in the year. Self-help books, beginning of the year, it's a new year, it's a new me, that type of thing. Business books are traditionally released then as well. Readers are conditioned to actually go out and find books during these time periods because that's been the behavior in the past. Look at May and August, adventure, fantasy travel. That's the beach reading season, right? A lot of those books are very popular. And again, traditional publishing, we sort of follow the lead on it in terms of advising people. September in the fall, academic titles, of course, the beginning of school. You got Halloween, you've got horror and paranormal, a lot of titles in them. And then again, around the holidays, a lot of children's books, cooking books, and those photo coffee table books. The real meaning of this slide is there's no bad time to ever publish your book, all right? If you didn't make it in time for Christmas, that's fine. If you're pointing for February, but it goes into April, that's okay too. Your book is going to have a very long life, all right? Get it into the marketplace when you're ready to. Don't procrastinate. Don't don't try to make it a great book instead of a very good book. Release it out there. You're going to learn so much, and you're going to find readers as soon as possible for you to get kind of moving in this direction, okay? So look, we got to hit even more ideas. You can download our free guide. I've got the 12 book ideas where I've gleaned some of this. How do you get it? You go to bookbaby.com. You click on the Learn tab and the free guides, and you'll see it pop right up. Also, again, tons of posts on the BookBaby blog that really is a treasure trove of great, ideas and resources for the indie authors out there in the world. All right, let's read a nice note we got this last week from Spencer Green. Simple progress. He says, I was struggling to find an affordable way to print and self-publish my book. I came across BookBaby and just inquired about a quote first. Site was easy to use. They gave me a quote right away. Not only that, somebody from the company reached out directly to ask more about the project, how they could help. They stayed in contact with me, walked me through the process until I made the order and received my books. The books look amazing, printed and delivered in a timely manner. BookBaby surpassed all my expectations. They made the completion of this project that's been causing me a ton of stress and anxiety quite the breeze. That is mission accomplished for us. Again, so publishing is not easy. We make it a lot easier. It's on us to really, deliver for you. And I'm glad that Spencer, we came through for you there. All right. And so we've done for our season for the BookBaby Spotlight. I encourage you to, wherever you have a podcast, preference or where you find your podcast, and everybody's got a podcast. I think my cat's going to do a podcast. I don't know. That's where you go to find BookBaby Spotlight, where we highlight our authors. I think I'm on a couple of episodes, if you can bear with that. Really good, practical, information really from the ground up. It's, these are people who are out there doing the work, selling their books, creating their books. You hear their stories. It's quite inspirational, frankly. All right. And with that, it is question time. I don't know if we're going to have many questions today, so I think it was kind of limited. I think people thought it's going to be just about selling books, but I'll go through what I have here. So Elizabeth Max asked, if your book's been out for a while, sales have fallen off, is it possible to relaunch sales? Oh, absolutely. No question about it. A lot of the ideas I presented here, they can be done for a relaunch. You think, in fact, I just did a blog post about this very topic. I know I'm pointing you back to the blog a lot, with a lot of ideas to kind of get the momentum back going for your book. You think about it, your book's only been exposed to a tiny potential population out there. You need to, I think there are other areas where you can think about exposing. Have you tried all the different social media sites? Once again, I will pitch the blog post we just put up there about YouTube Shorts. It's amazing. It's rivaling Book Talk in terms of popularity already, and authors are finding great success. It's easy to do, and they're setting up their YouTube channel. It's very simple. So there are all kinds of ways to kind of reinvigorate that book. Your book's going to be around a long, long time. Just because the launch may be disappointing to you, it's no reason for you to give up on it yet. So I encourage you to get that energy go. Again, look through the blog. There was a post I did about 2 months ago. It was about keeping the momentum up and keeping going on that. Okay. Ed Jordan asks, I'm having a BookBaby audiobooks created. Yay, to go along with my print and ebook. Congratulations, Ed. I noticed a very few minor grammatical errors when read aloud. Does not affect story or flow. I noticed that no one else has. Is it worth the time and money to fix for a perfect book since it's already published? So I'm assuming you're not talking about the audiobook proof, but you're talking about the actual book proof. So if minor grammatical errors, every single book in the world, I think, out there has these minor errors. Sometimes it's really kind of a judgment call, whether you want to let that go. If you misspelled your mother's name, you should definitely change it. If it's minor things, if it's IT''S instead of ITS, I wouldn't sweat it. Some of these things can actually be gremlins in some of the ebook type of conversions from files. They just pop up in there. If it's something that you noticed it only because you poured through the book, that's one thing. But I mean, if there are more than 10 of them or 15 of them, yeah, I would do that. But a couple of them, people are gonna skip right by that. By the way, please put any more questions in the comment section now, because I'm just one more question. Mark asks, which template indicates the formatting and spacing for a manuscript that will be submitted for both print and ebook? Well, this is really easy. We would much prefer you not to do any kind of template in terms of handing us a file. If we're going to do the printing for you, if we're going to do the ebook file, just give us a Word document. That's the easiest format for us to work with. When you give us a PDF or something that's already been placed in template, chances are we're going to have to extract it from that and redo it. There's a ton of behind the scenes things that we do to prepare our printed and our ebooks. But we don't waste your time. We just do them. We don't list them out. If I did, I could spend a 5-hour long BookBaby Live telling you all the 150 check things that we check on a print file and the 180 things we check on an ebook file or whatever the number is. We just do it. So the easiest thing for us to do is let's have your Word file, okay? And we'll take it from there. Let us do the templating. Let us do the formatting. It's our people do this. That's why they're here. I mean, that's what they do for a living, and they're very, very good at it. Okay. All right. And I'm happy to announce that our winner today is Marianne Nathaniel, and we'll be doing a consultation here before the end of the month, because this is going to be the last question, because folks, that's all. This is going to be my last BookBaby Live presentation. I'm going to be going off. Well, I'll just tell you, I'm signing off, and with the company that I've been with for over 16 years. And I've got to say, my most enjoyable moments with the company has been, working with directly thousands of authors through emails, through phone calls, through these type of chats, to the trade shows I'd go to the webinars I've done, and things like that. That's been when I've really enjoyed it. It's one thing to be worrying about what kind of presses do we need and how much paper do we need. I'd much rather focus in on the people, making sure we have great people working with our authors, and just to make sure our authors are very happy. So my next adventure is this. Just people have asked me about this. I plan to move to Montpellier, France, sometime late next year. One barrier to that entry is I've got to learn more French than croissant. I do know Eiffel Tower, and no, that's it. We've exhausted it. So I'm going to be doing some intensive French training. Also, it's going to give me the opportunity to work with a few select authors to help them with self-publishing. They need some special hand-holding, or they want some more advice. I'll be available to sort of give that. But I'm going to sort of end this series of these broadcasts and take some advice. This was what I told in my very first one. To self-publish your book and to feel good about it, you got to work with people you can really depend on, seasoned professionals. Your cousin who went to design school in Philadelphia is not a book designer. All right, work with a professional book designer. People who've done this all day long, just like what I mentioned about all the little checks for a file to go on press. All right, make sure you've got an array of products that can turn your story into a beautiful book. All right, that's going to actually enhance your story just by quality binding or a beautiful cover, or the paper that feels right. All right. Make sure that when you self-publish, you need the widest distribution. Yes, of course, you got to be on Amazon. We get that. We all know that. But there are many other ebooks and even print book outlets around the world that people are buying from. And as I've said in most broadcasts, direct to reader is a very important aspect of that. Make sure you've got a way to transact directly with the reader so that you can engage and have a one-to-one relationship. And then finally, go with a company where you enjoy that comfort, that everything is guaranteed. You don't need to worry about it. They're not going to take your rights away. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to claim ownership of it. And if something doesn't work out, like we were talking about, if there's some grammatical errors that we introduce into it, we fix them free. We do all that sort of work. So find a company that does that. And I'll just say in a blatant commercial, it is BookBaby. And I leave you in very, very good hands of the people who we do almost everything ourselves in our own factory over there across the river in New Jersey, from printing to editing to, the work, making sure the books look good and are shipped out. So as I say, I'm happy to be very confident that I'll be leaving you in good hands with these people who will be taking you up. I know there'll be some kind of BookBaby Live after I've departed the scene, and so I hope you pay attention to those and when they start up again in the new year. And then finally, one more pitch, the BookBaby blog. I'll probably still be doing some writing for the blog as I take some time between learning French or experiencing French over in France. So really invite you to go there. It's a go-to source for all kinds of information. My final words is this. You know what? Do it. Don't quit. If you get that book out there, there's no bad time to do it. You're going to be happy you've done it. It's going to be an achievement that you're going to be very proud of, and you're going to learn from it. And hopefully you'll be encouraged to do book number 2, book number 3, book number 4. And so with that, here's a new email. If you want to get a hold of me in the future, that's my Gmail address. I'll still be around BookBaby for the end of the month, but after that, that's probably the best place to reach me. So again, I want to thank you for your attention over the months on this. I really enjoyed doing this. It's another way to, again, have a good conversation with the indie author community that I love so much. So with that, I say thank you and have a great day.